Woohoo! Hi, Una. Good morning,
Hi.
Toronto.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to all of you who are listening from such faraway, exotic places like Norway. I'm
Right.
pleased to be talking to you.
We talk about an international happening. Right now, I'm sitting in San Diego, California, Pacific time, early morning. My hair is still wet after jumping out of the showers. You are in Canada,
I
Toronto,
am. Yep.
coast. For those who are not familiar with Canadian geography, right?
Yeah. I'm at, you know what, I'll just show you. I'm at my family's cottage, which is like north of Toronto. Look, I don't know, can you guys see?
Oh, look at
And
that.
like this gorgeous lake. So,
Almost saying it looks like Norway.
yeah, I think it is quite similar. Yeah.
Because this, of course, will be broadcasted to, mostly will be seen by people in Norway. But the thing is, like, give us a short intro, Una, for those who are not lucky enough like me who actually know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, you're so kind. So I'm a fitness expert. I started out as a fitness instructor. So, you know, in gyms and teaching spin classes and dance classes. I did mom and baby dance classes, you know, with the baby in the front carrier. And it was called the Mother Funk. And I got them all doing rap songs. So that's where I started, mostly in the fitness stuff. And then I became a trainer. I started training trainers. So I taught the personal trainer certification course. And I had a boot camp company where I had people like, you know, running up the hills at 6 a.m. and loved all of it. And then I started to publish online. And then I noticed that a lot of my clients, although they were getting, you know, I'm sure, and you guys know this better than anyone, and I'm so glad. I love Bright Line Eating, by the way, and I'm really, a lot of the stuff that they say, I am so on board with. And one of the things that they are absolutely right about is that exercise, while fantastic for so many things, doesn't really help you lose weight. And it was definitely most of my clients, one of their biggest goals that they wanted badly was to lose weight, to lose fat. And I wasn't really servicing them. So I started looking into nutrition, which I was one of these people that was like, yeah, you know, as long as I exercise, I can eat whatever I want. You know, so I'd like be busting my butt working out and also drinking a lot of beer and a lot of like eating whatever. So I was definitely like that work hard, play hard kind of mentality. And so what was reflected in my body was that, you know, I didn't think that my body looked like someone who was as fit as I felt like I was. So then when I dialed in my nutrition using many of the same principles that you teach, Irina, wow, the difference in my body was incredible. And I went through this journey just as an experiment. Honestly, I was so much to the fitness side of it that I thought, oh guys, let's just try this healthy eating and see what happens. And we were all like, whoa, it's a whole new world.
In Norway, we have this saying that I've heard like personal trainers saying like, no, I heard other people say like the kilograms are in the food and the grams are in the exercise in terms of weight.
Ding, ding. Yeah, you know, we're pounds in Canadian, but absolutely, that is so true. I mean, I could talk on and on about the benefits of exercise because I really think that exercise is critical to maintain the weight loss. And we can get into this later. But even more importantly, exercise is critical for your mindset that is going to keep you on top of your game. And as I know all of the super intelligent members of your community know, really, it's a mindset game. That's what
I'm so glad you're pointing this out. And of course, we're going to get back to this again and again, because that's mostly what your book is about, which I will promote to like as long as I can, because what I'm, for myself, just want to clear out, like people say, this is strange, Irina promoting a personal trainer, because she often says, skip the training, right? And let me just like make a clarification. Yes, I do say, take a break from your membership at the gym while you're losing the weight. Because what Susan Pierce Thompson is teaching us is like, for most of us, like myself, if we spend too much willpower in going to the gym, we won't be able to do the right choices around our food. But as soon as you have like created your habits around food, please go back to the gym, because we need to exercise. We need to stay in shape. I myself have a little bit of in my habit stack, there is a morning routine in terms of exercise, right? So I'm not against exercise at all. A lot of people get this misconception that, yeah, Irina is all about non-exercise. Yes, that's true for the little period of time that we're creating our new lifestyle. but then we of course need to stay in shape.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking that that's probably one of the most important habits. And then we're lucky enough to have people like you, Oonagh, who teaches us not only how to do it, but you teach it in such a fun and inspiring and energetic way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because I really think that it has to be fun.
It has to be fun
because at the end of the day, what is our ultimate goal here? Our ultimate goal is actually not to lose weight or fit into a certain size or get rid of the belly or whatever people say. Our ultimate goal is the feeling we think we're going to have once we've lost the weight, once we fit into the size smaller jeans. And that feeling, I think we need to train ourselves to access it right now. And yes. I honestly think that exercise is one of the fastest routes to that feeling. And when you train yourself to access that feeling, that is the most important work we can do.
Yes. Before we dive into like proper techniques, how to do that, just because I believe that in order to be inspired to do any kind of changes in my own life, I need to hit like rock bottom, like we call it in the 12-step program, right? So what about your own rock bottom, Oonagh? Because I know that you didn't always look like this healthy goddess of fitness, right? Tell us, because you even showed me your before picture when the last time we met. Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't know that about you. So tell me about a little bit of your own personal backstory in terms of health and fitness.
Right. Okay. So dude, honestly, if you had told me at a teenager or that I would be into fitness, I would have never would have believed you. I was, when I was growing up and I was a little kid, always a little chubby, definitely a bookworm. I didn't even want to play with the other kids in the yard because I didn't like running around so much. I just wanted to read. I've always loved like sugary, salty treat foods, no interest in fitness, health. When I was growing up, and then I hit teenager and I liked smoking. I liked wearing black lipstick. I wanted to hang out with the cool kids who, you know what I mean? Like I thought that all that was not, I had these ideas, these preconceptions. And again, this is why I'm saying it's always a mental game. I thought that, working out and eating well was kind of like for like squares. Do you guys know that expression? Like people who are kind of like perfect and lame and whatever. All totally stupid, by the way. Whereas I thought it was cool to like, be artsy and creative and smoke and not participate and not be caught trying at stuff. So that was like this is the framework that I grew up in and developed my early identity, which, as you can probably guess, did not result in the hottest and most functional body, right? So it basically turned out that, in my 20s, I just remember, dude, like, every time I sat down, my jeans would dig into my belly. I would always be, when you sit and you're always kind of pulling your shirt away that no one can see your rolls. In the seat, but like the seatbelt in the car, I felt like it was digging into me. And, I would see pictures of myself and I would always think, that's an awful picture of me. I don't look like that. And then people would be like, no, that looks like a good picture. And I was like, no, I can't possibly look like that. And the clothes that I wanted to wear, they never looked good on me. And whenever I would take pictures, I would always kind of like hide behind someone else or something. Cause I was just, I felt like the way I was looked didn't feel like who I was inside. I felt inside like this incredibly, smart, attractive, like I felt good. But then when I saw myself, I'm like, that's not me. So I would kind of secretly make these little efforts, like I would try, this is back in the day. So I would try low fat, or I would try, oh gosh, what else? I tried all of it. Like I did Atkins, I did, Weight Watchers, I did like all of them. I did them always a little bit secretly because I didn't want anyone to know when I failed. Right. And I did, I failed every time. I would even try going to, and like I said, I was so not in shape, a smoker. I'd never exercised in my life, not even as a kid. And I would join like a gym, and I would go in and everyone looked already fit and I didn't know how to work the machine. I just left and I was so embarrassed about everything. And I also felt like, I was trying really hard, but it was getting worse. And I was getting chubbier and chubbier every year. To the point where I would go into normal stores And I would kind of hope that they'd have something big enough for me, even though I'm only 5'4". I don't know, like 164 centimeters. It's not tall. And so, yeah, so it was getting to that point. And I just, I just thought.
Was there like a moment, like now I'm breaking up with myself, or was it like a transitioning?
You know what? I hate talking about my moment. So this is super secret. This is only stays in Norway. Okay. Okay. So because the reason I don't want to talk about it is because all my clients, they say, oh, I would totally exercise if I had the time. And I'm always like, dude, you are never going to have the time. Don't you wait for having the time. The reason I started is because I was an actor and I was in a play in the middle of nowhere, Canada. I don't know if you have those kind of theaters in Norway. They're like in the middle of the country. No one ever lives anywhere. And all I had to do was be in makeup at 7 p.m. And I had the whole day with nothing to do. So it literally was that I had nothing. I had too much time on my hands. And I thought, maybe I'll go for a run. And I had, I didn't have running shoes. I ran in my Spice Girls platform boots. And I almost died because I had smoked so much. Anyway, and so that's why I started running. So I never tell that story because I had nothing else to do, which is never the
hilarious. I had no clue. So people might be curious, like, how on the earth, like, did you and I meet? So let's just keep this super short. Like, Oonagh and I are both online entrepreneurs. We are both in an amazing community. What a gang! Like, I mean, it's a community of online entrepreneurs. And I will also say probably the coolest entrepreneurs on earth, because we are all into making this place a better place and giving people the tools they need in order to change their own life, right?
Yeah.
So, and I have learned so much from you, Oonagh. And I was like blown away when you reached out to me last year asking me a few questions about writing a book. And I was like, oh my God, I can help Oonagh the way she has helped and inspired me. And I remember that call, like I gave you some tips and so just the fact that we both are in this amazing community. And how many people are we in there? Like a couple of hundred
in Lunch Club?
Yeah,
about 300 now. Yeah,
about 300. So it's still it's big and it's growing, of course, because everyone wants to hang out with the cool kids who are in there, right? But tell me a little bit about the importance of being in that community in terms of, like, for in this case for your own business part, but I think it's a bigger playing game here, like the importance of being in a community where people try to do and have already done what you are trying to achieve.
Oh, dude. I mean, you guys know about this. You're in Irina's community. You know the power of community, because really it is about, so it's creating a new normal for you, because humans will automatically, by default, we are social creatures. We will always conform to our surroundings, to the people around us, whether it's consciously or not, right? We, even if we think we're big rebels, we're actually going to conform to the norm. So really, one of the best ways that you can actually change your behavior is to surround yourself with people who have a different norm than you, that have the norm that you want. So I remember when I joined Launch Club, I saw people on stage and I heard that the kind of impact they were having in the world, the kind of money they were making, the kind of lifestyle they were creating for their family. And I was like, I want that to be my norm. And people join my community, we're creating a norm where we take care of ourselves, where we do these habits, where we bounce back when we fall off, where we keep pushing to be our better selves. And when you surround yourself with people like that, you step up. It makes you step up. And being with you, like, dude, Irina, you, like, I have so much respect for you and the stuff that you've accomplished. Like, I don't know how well you guys know this woman and how, like, her background. I think you probably do pretty well. Holy crap, really impressive person, right? And so when I get to put myself in situations where I get to go on a hike with Irina and hear everything she does, and she's telling me about this in a different language, like mind-blowingly amazing. It's just like, I'm like, damn, I got to step up my game. I got to learn Norwegian, or you know what I mean? Like, I gotta do some stuff.
And for those who don't follow you yet on social media, just please go and follow Oonagh on her Instagram, because your Instagram stories, and you just like had this amazing trip through Europe. You spent days in a camping site in Iceland and before going to Switzerland and Holland and wherever.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what I love of what you're modeling is that you take your habits with you wherever you are. It's not like, no, I can't work out today because I'm not at my gym, or I'm not at home, or I don't have my thing. I've seen you at your cabin where you did I saw a video from you last summer where you took the paddle boat oar and used that as a weightlifting thing.
Yeah.
I've seen you in your local park in Toronto doing like push-ups on the parch bench.
Yeah.
So let's jump over to your fantastic, this will be your legacy, Oonagh, I'm just telling you. Healthy as beep. Healthy as fuck. Just say it like it's I'm going to ask you about this language thing later because you know I love words as a journalist, but this is not yet available unless you know Oonagh like I do and you have an advanced reader copy. This will be available on September 17th 2019. And of course it's written in English. We have to see if we can get it into Norwegian, of course, but
I love that.
for now it's only available in English. But it's possible to pre-order it, and I'll send you guys the link. I haven't gotten the chance to do that, but I'll send you the link where you can pre-order it so everyone can order it. Those who are comfortable with reading English, of course.
Yeah, please.
And then let me just say, it's written in a really oral, fun language. So it's not like a scientific, even though you talk about a lot of science in here, just like also Susan does in her book. It's really understandable for those who are just like, if you're comfortable with listening to this kind of English, you are more than skilled enough to read this book.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why did you write this book, Oonagh?
Oh, dude. So, like you, I've got this community of, oh my gosh, incredible, mostly women who are looking to lose weight, get in shape, and they're so smart and they're so freaking funny, and I love them so much. And I just kept seeing them like hit the same obstacles every time. And the deeper you go with this stuff, you realize like it's not actually about the food. It's not actually about the exercise. It is the mindset. And I feel like, people come into my world because I give them meal plans and workouts and stuff like that, which is great. And like that works. If you follow it, it will work. But it's, will you follow it? And will you follow it is like, we gotta go right back to the beginning, and we gotta start with mindset. We gotta start with why you were doing this. We gotta start with the stuff that's going on in your head, about how you feel about yourself and the identity that you've created for yourself. And so what I really wanted to do was to kind of really make it like set a foundation of mindset that is going to allow people to feel successful with this stuff for the first time in their lives.
Yes.
Because I could not watch these beautiful, hilarious, smart women feel like failures at this. Like I felt like a failure at this for so long. It's unacceptable. I feel like there's so much human potential that is buried underneath this feeling of failure about their bodies. And I can't, I had to write that book.
And I can hear your voice and your inspiration the whole way through. And I love people, when they pick up the Bright Line Eating book, they think, oh, now I'm going to get this is a cookbook and I will just follow the meal plans. And then it turns out it's not a single recipe. And the thing I was thinking when I heard that you were writing a book, probably she will put in her morning routine schedule and then how to run a 5K. And that was my preconception of if a person writes a book, it's not a single exercise in here, just to let people know.
No.
It's not like this is how you technically do a burpee. You can't.
No.
Wrong book.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you dig into how to create happiness here and now, how to be aware of what's triggering you, how to all the mental stuff that you're talking about. And then oh, this is so good. This is good. Even the preface, I was I'm going to send I will link to the preface because that is,
oh, nice.
Your publicist sent me the preface so that everyone can just have a sneak peek. And I know that they won't read the rest of the book, so they're going to order it.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways, and then the further I come out, there is notes everywhere, and then I just start bending the pages. You might not see it, but And then I just had to stop doing that because I was bending every single page. But I want to go back to, because I came to chapter 7 and I thought, oh my God, this is such a good chapter. And it's called The Power of Your Peeps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which is, we've already touched upon it, but like, again, I would just have to read a quote. It's on 100. Okay, the pages might be a little different in the final version because I know that this is an advanced copy. But here it is. People think what they need is a magic formula of workouts and recipes. But the real magic formula is surrounding yourself with people who are also living healthy as fuck.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
It's just so powerful because that I can like, oh, had I only had a recipe, or if I've only known this workout, I would have succeeded.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
So,
it's so true. And I think that, you know, Irina, that's one of the problems with our industry, the weight loss industry, is that it is kind of, you know, marketed on selling people, I have the magic formula. I have the magic formula of workouts and recipes. If you just follow this, then, I mean, the information that people need to lose weight, the recipes, the workouts, like they're for free. They're all over the net. You don't need that. You don't need that. You just need the shift to actually do it. That's the thing. So there is no magic workouts and recipes.
Right.
And anyone who tells you there is, like,
right.
They're yeah.
And for the record, there's no magic pill either. I tried that and that does not work.
I tried the pills. I tried some algae. I tried all of that. Yeah, that's right. None of theirs.
And let me also add, because I know that, do you still do like one-on-ones? Could I hire you as a personal trainer?
Oh my gosh. Thank you for asking. I don't anymore. No, I haven't done one-on-ones forever. Yeah, right. I do.
People ask,
and part of the reason is because of the peeps. Like, it's not going to, I can't be all of that for you. You need to surround yourself. You need to create a new normal for yourself.
Right.
So it's like, one of the reasons is that people really want the one-on-one, because they want maybe a little bit more individualized attention. Often they think they need more customization than they really do. But really, you don't need that. You need a community. And people are so scared of community because they don't want to be the worst one in it. Like, I get it. Dude, I was the least fit person ever. So shy about it. So embarrassed. I thought there was nothing more embarrassing than being caught like sweating and trying and failing. Like, I totally get it. But I'm telling you, that exact same ego that is making you not want to do it is the ego that is going to force you to rise when you have the balls to put yourself in a community that's doing it.
I love it. So, chapter 7, which I thought was my favorite until I came to chapter 8, break up with your bullshit. I love it. Because that is also, you just to say it very shortly, you describe 7 healthy habits that you need to have in place in order to succeed. I mean, we could run very fast through them. And it's not like you are bringing anything. It's not like people haven't heard about these habits before.
No, there's nothing new. I feel there's nothing new there. It's just the doing it that would be new for you. Yeah.
So, of course, I should have written those. I have them here, right? The fill your plate.
Fill half of your plate with vegetables. Yeah.
Right. And then, of course, which all of us who are doing
you totally do that. Bright line eating,
yeah. Check. Are you getting at least 7 hours of sleep?
Irina, you're not.
I won't even tell you how many I was down to tonight, because I'm blaming the jet lag. But as you know, I've started saying I don't do jet lag anymore. But I don't know what excuse to say. But that is a hard one for me, Oonagh.
It's really hard. Well, let me ask you, Irina, do you find it? Does it affect your cravings? Or I know you're pretty good with your bright lines, but tell me,
it does affect my life in so many ways. Okay, just for those who don't know, I'm bad at getting to bed at night. I wake up too early, and when I do, I'm not able to like calm myself down again, and then I just start going, and then until I hit like enough days in a row with not enough sleep, and I crash and burn. And then I'm like, my mood just like totally depletes. I don't have any outlooks on life. I was like, I'm not going to survive this day. It's like going from I would say my base level is pretty high. I'm like an outgoing, like happy, optimistic person, but
high energy. Yeah.
By high energy. But then when the lack of sleep gets to me, I was like, oh, I won't accomplish anything. I'm a failure. I'm like, just like, and it took me a long time before I understood it had anything to do with sleep.
Yeah.
And in periods of time, I can also see that because I track my weight weekly now.
Mm-hmm.
And I see like sometimes it's climbing. And then I compare it with my sleep chart. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. My food is exactly the same as it has been.
Yeah.
But the only difference here is that these last 2 weeks, I haven't really slept well. I'm not rested. And I can see it affecting my weight.
Yeah.
And when I read about this, like you write about the cortisol levels and I write about how stress and lack of sleep actually affects my body, I was like, another good reason to get enough sleep. So why is this so hard?
To get enough sleep?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. Like I specialize in women in their 40s and 50s. And for women in their 40s and 50s, there are hormonal things that are messing with your sleep cycle, but also it's just lifestyle. Like those are the people who are often still have kids at home and parents who are requiring a little bit more attention. So that sandwich generation, plus you're at the peak of your career, right? And also most women our age don't take enough time for self-care to take a breath, to dial their energy down a little bit, which is one of the reasons why one of the other of the 7 habits of highly healthy motherfuckers is that you need to meditate. You need to consciously allow that dropping in and allowing that energy. Because you and I, Irina, we both have that, like we run here, like we're like 140 beats per minute. That's our natural. So in order to come down, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I used to do that with alcohol. But now I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to live like that. So I'm going to have to think of another way to chill it out.
I'm really glad you're mentioning the alcohol. I don't know if you were with this. I wrote a book a couple of years ago called Alcohol Free, about my journey of becoming a non-drinker.
I would love to read that.
Yeah, I would love to translate that for you.
Yeah.
So that is another thing of the 7 habits. So the first one was vegetables. The second one was sleep. And the third one, like, you need to take another step back from the booze, like cutting down or like cutting back on your alcohol consumption, which I love that you're mentioning, because a lot of people don't dare to go into that field because they think, oh, people won't be willing to hear that. But you just say it like it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, I love alcohol. I totally get it. And I'm not at a place where I'm ready to go totally alcohol free. Although personally, I know when I look at a journey of my personal development, I know that's along that path for me. I'm not ready for it completely yet. But what I say, and I tell people that in my book, but what I do say to people is that it's important to look at your alcohol consumption and just be totally honest with yourself. Which are the drinks that are putting me towards my goals and which are the drinks that are making me less happy? So for example, you know, having a glass of wine at sunset when you're with someone, like that can be a beautiful drink. But like the second glass of wine that you have while you're making dinner every night, you don't even like, you get no enjoyment out of it. It's just honestly making you gain weight, lose your energy, have cravings, fucking up your sleep. Like there are some drinks that are better than others. And one of the rules that I really think is a great alcohol rule, if you're not ready to just, you know, cut it out or whatever, is make all your alcohol happy alcohol. And that's like when you're enjoying a beautiful meal, when you're with friends, when it's celebration. If you find yourself thinking, oh, I need a drink, that's not happy alcohol.
Right. I love that word. I never heard anyone use that term. In Bright on Eating, we often talk about, like, if you decide to do alcohol, please wait until your maintenance period. Like, just don't do it while you're losing the weight. Just like take a break from it. Like, think of it like you're pregnant, right? Then you're not motivated to take a drink. Just like think, in this short period of my time, I'm just going to take care of myself. And then I can like do my own research. Is it helping me to like know that on Saturday when Oonagh has invited me for dinner, I'm going to say yes to a glass of wine? Well, then plan it ahead.
Yes, that's right.
So like make a commitment, like, yeah, I'm going to join a glass of wine at sunset together with Oonagh and her family or whatever. And then stick to that one glass. Like anything else you have planned, just do it. Like create a plan about it and then follow the plan.
That's the thing. It's about intentional choices.
Right.
Instead of having, because I think one of the language that I hate that I hear so much in health and weight loss is people saying, I don't know what the equivalent would be in Norwegian, but in English they say, oh, I fell off the wagon. I went off the rails. I don't know how it may translate that, Irina, for what the expressions would be in your community. But I just feel like, no, man, you didn't fall off anything. You made a choice.
Yeah.
So make the choice intentionally and consciously.
Yes.
And then no guilt, enjoy your choice. And then you can analyze later, was that choice, did it move me forward or back? Did it make me happy? You know?
And that's, if you make a plan, and you can also evaluate it exactly like you're saying. So, and the fourth rule here is, the fourth habit that you're recommending is a practice of more self-loving mindset, or like you write, chill the fuck out.
Totally.
So that was what you were mentioning with the meditation and
meditation.
And then habit number 5 regarding portion sizes in terms of your food. Rein in on your portions.
This is bright line eating.
This is actually right. So this is totally aligned with everything I believe in.
Yeah.
And then also another bright line eating principle, rule number 6. Is it time to actually prep and plan in advance?
Yeah.
Yeah, now, let me just read the summary here of that habit.
Sure, yeah.
You realize this shit doesn't just happen on its own. Dedicating an hour a week to meal prep is probably the most efficient use of your limited time if fat loss is your priority.
Totally. When people tell me, oh, I don't know what to do. Like I work out for 2 hours every day and and I'm like, dude, stop doing that. Instead, just take 1 hour every week, plan out your food. Because we know food is 99% of the battle. And if you have shitty food at home, or you haven't planned to have good food, you're not going to eat it. You're going to eat whatever is out there. And whatever's out there, look around. Most people are unhealthy. It's crappy food that's out there. You have to plan in advance.
Yes. And then, of course, which is interesting, knowing your background. And let me just add, you are like an acclaimed, you have won awards for your work as a personal fitness trainer. Yeah. And only one of your 7 habits is about exercise. Are you exercising consistently? That is your question in habit number 7. Yep. So, of course, and you dig deep in all of those 7 habits. I want to go over to my next favorite chapter, because there's so many of them. And that is about what you were mentioning when we talked about this, how to fight the fuck-its, how not to fall off the wagon. And what I loved about that is the words you keep telling yourself.
Yeah.
So you have so many good examples in this book, Oonagh, about the stories I tell myself. No, I can't exercise this morning because my knee is hurting.
Yeah.
So then I should just I should probably not go to the gym and do those, whatever I planned.
Yep.
So tell me about, that this is probably what, I'm thinking that's probably what makes most people fail in the long run, that they let these stories win in the morning.
Totally. And that's one of the reasons why I think meditation is so helpful, is because it allows you to watch those stories happen without being super identified with them. You can actually, that's when you get a little bit of power of perspective to hear that it's a story that you're using and not necessarily the absolute truth. So that really, I don't know how your community is, but my community is about the meditation. They just want me to show them more workouts and tell me if I can eat flour or whatever like that, So, but when I'm no, really, you've got to watch what's going on in your mind, because that is what is going to sabotage you. And so I don't know if you guys have an expression that's equivalent, but what happens is that people are I think in Brightline, they say a glass vase person.
Yeah. Crystal vase.
Crystal vase, right? They're on it, they've got everything. And then one day the vase shatters, and then they think, fuck it, I'm out. I'm out. I didn't do it perfectly, so I'm just going to go for it. And that is understandable. It's what I call it in the book is, it's like puberty. It's like when you're going through puberty and you're a teenager and you feel all rebellious and you're like, you can't tell me what to do. And it's like a completely unappealing stage of your life, but it's one that you have to go through in order to forge a new identity, in order to make it your own, right? So you say, fuck it. And then, fuck it, I'm not doing this. No, you can't tell me what to do. But then in the fuck it's is when you realize, maybe I want to do it a little bit. And then you start to build a little bit, and you make it your own a little bit. And so part of the fuck it's is, I think everybody goes through the fuck it's, but the rule about the fuck it's is you just, as you get better at this, you come out of it faster. And then you can start to analyze what happened. What was the trigger for the fuck it's? How can I help myself avoid those triggers next time? What is it that I am gaining from the fuck it's? Like, what is the value that I'm getting from it? Oh, well, I get to feel rebellious, or I get to feel like I'm badass, or whatever, it's different for everyone. But this is the internal work that you got to do.
Yes.
And you can't outsource this, guys. I would love to say, hire me, and I'll tell you, it's like, that's not going to work. You have to do the internal work. And that is your job. You're the only person who's going to know yourself enough to know how you get yourself out of the fuck it's.
Right. And also, because what you are teaching, and I'm totally aligned with this, and I do this, or even though it's uncomfortable for me sometimes as a coach, it's like practicing tough love. Towards my members, when like a member says like, you see, I can't eat, like when they come like with some victim story. And I don't even have to hear the rest of the story. I hear it in their tone of voice. I hear it with the words
Totally. Yeah.
And whatever the reason is, it doesn't really matter, because what I'm listening and I need to pick up on, and like I give them feedback on, is the way they talk to themselves. Because the way they talk to me, I know that's just a light version of how they talk to themselves.
Absolutely. Yep.
So how do you practice this tough love you have great examples in your book, like you're talking about this high-end client of yours who you show up at her door at 9 a.m. in the morning, and she says, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't call, I had to cancel because I'm just too busy to work out today. And it's not like you're leaving when she tells you that.
And she wants me to, but I don't.
No, you don't, because you step into her living room and you sit down with her, and just like explain that little session, because I love that.
So basically, this is the principle of small wins. And so the chapter is called, if you can't do something right, do it totally half-assed. So basically, one of the biggest mental barriers for people in doing things consistently and building habit loops, because I don't know about you, Irina, but the goal for me is to make this automatic, to not have so much of my brain caught up in thinking about executing healthy rules, right? I just want to live my life and have this be natural. So we need habit loops for that. And in order to build habit loops, one of the biggest problems that people have is this, if I can't do something right, I don't do it at all. Or it's an all or nothing, or that perfect, or I don't do it. So that's what happens when you drop your crystal vase and then you go, fuck it. So in order, one of the biggest antidotes to the buckets is small wins. When you think, right, okay, I had a bite of the cake. That doesn't mean I go, fuck it, I'm going to have the whole cake, right? It's a small win. A small win would be that you had one bite, whereas in the past, you would have had half the cake. That is a win, and you call that a win. All right? And then every time, you need to reward yourself just as well. So the example that Irina was talking about, sometimes I would show up to my client's house and she would open the door and go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. There's no freaking way I'm working out. And I would say, no problem. No problem. Good for you. You're listening to your body. But I'm not going to leave. Instead, we're going to practice some stretching. We're going to talk about why we're going to go walk around the block. And in doing so, we're reinforcing her habit loop. Her habit was at 9:45 on Tuesdays. She works out with Oonagh, and her reward is feelings of self-satisfaction and reinforcing an identity of herself as someone who takes care of herself. And we can accomplish that exact same thing by going for a walk, by doing some stretching. Still reinforcing this habit loop and her identity as someone who freaking does this stuff. So if you have promised yourself that you, for example, if you're halfway through a binge and then you suddenly get some moment of clarity and you watch it, instead of thinking, fuck it, I'm going to finish this whole thing of peanut butter, putting down the spoon and being like, I'm done with that now, is a huge win. It's a huge, huge win. And you have the power to execute that power anytime you want. It's there. And when you do that, you are reinforcing you're telling yourself, you know what? I'm moving on. I'm getting done with this.
Yeah.
And you'll start to bring that awareness a little bit earlier every time.
Yeah. Just do what Oonagh says. And this is exactly the same what Susan Peirce Thompson, the doctor in psychology who has written the Bright Line Eating book, she refers to this, and this is science called the what the hell effect.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you can break the what the hell effect just by a conscious choice, tapping into your highest self, or like what is really helpful for you instead of what you just said. Oonagh, this has been amazing. I love following you in your, like, where can people, I've included the links, so
thank you.
I will just find you online.
Thank you so much.
And even though you don't teach one-on-one anymore, even though they live in Toronto, you can work out with Oonagh by signing up for her online courses, and they're great. Or following your free classes on Facebook and Instagram. And
sure, yeah.
Just do it.
Actually, I'll say, if you do decide to order my book, I'm doing a pre-order thing, and it comes with workouts and some recipes and a meal prep system. So that could be totally helpful for you guys. So please go ahead and take advantage of it.
And I'm going to include I'm going to send out the link for that pre-order form, because then you will, so in order to not only get the book, because if you just go online, just to make sure that you get the right package, I'm sending that link so that everyone can get the bonuses as well.
Awesome.
And of course, you are coming to Norway at some time. I'm just putting that order out there in the universe. And then, of course, all the Norwegians can stop by and get their book signed. What about that, right?
Oh, I love that. I would love that.
Just one thing at the end, your language. For those of us who have English as our, we learned that in school, no one taught us that it was allowed to write fuck on the cover of a book, or that you can call people motherfuckers, or like fuck the fuck it's, and like, I was just like, even almost like, I hope my kids won't watch this recording, right? Because tell us about Oonagh, because it does something. Tell us.
Yes. Okay, there were two reasons that I wanted to do this. One, I wanted this book to sound like a conversation that I would have with a good friend of mine. I really think that in the fitness and wellness and Instagram and all that, oh man, like most of the people in our position, Irina, just present themselves as these perfect, like, and here's me in my bikini, and like, if you do everything I do, you'll be perfect like me, and blah, 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 blah. And just like, I can't relate to that. I know that most of my clients who are me 10 years ago, hell couldn't relate to that. So I just wanted the conversation to be like me sitting down with one of my freaking amazing clients who reminds me so much of where I was 10 years ago, and be like, listen up, here's the real deal. And I am going to tell you as a friend to a friend, and I swear a lot. So there's that. That was one thing. I really wanted it to seem like a friend. Secondly, I wanted it to shock people. I feel like people are spinning around like crazy people about this stuff. And I wanted something, in old-fashioned movies where they go, stop, you're being hysterical. And so I wanted it to be like a, wake up. Yeah. So that's what I wanted the language to do.
And it works, because when I sit there, it's like, oh my God, she's just saying it as it is. She's not putting anything, like, she's not like putting any icing on the cake. I'm sorry about the pun. Like, you're just saying it as it is. And I love that about you. Just continue doing that, please.
Thank you.
So with that said, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. Thank you so much, lovely Norwegians. Thank you.
And also, like, the habits you need to get lean, stay healthy, and generally kick ass at life. That's Oonagh's promise. And I tell you, if you read this book and then start implementing what's actually said here, you're going to kick ass at life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, talk soon, Oonagh. See you. Thank you so much.
Bye.